Okay, so I'm honored that you actually came in studio to hang out with me in light of everything that's going on.
Yeah, but it's crazy out there.
Daymond John is hanging out with me, author, entrepreneur. You are the epitome of hip-hop to me. I mean, you are the hip-hop's dream. You started out with FUBU, doing the fashion thing. You set the trend, and you kind of shifted and made your own lane.
Yeah, I call it a power shift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to me about why you can kind of foresee trends happening, right?
You know what I think it is? I think that, and I'm going to make it relevant to today, what's going on with the craziness, right, is that over the course of my career, I've transformed from being obviously on the streets and then to clothing, and then to acquiring other brands, then to being an author, and then Shark Tank. And that's why I came out to write the book, because Powershift, I noticed I didn't have a formula.
Wait, this is your umpteenth book?
So this is my fifth book.
The fifth book, okay.
And it's called Powershift. And I noticed, I was like, I didn't have a formula to do that. So then I went and studied a lot of other subjects, like who's in the book, like Kris Jenner, Lindsey Vonn, Billie Jean King, who changed the face of sports, and I noticed that we all had one thing in common in the way that we went about it. So the best way I can relate it to today is, if you're going to be staying home today because your boss has said don't come in, and you're saving that 3 hours in travel, what are you doing with 1.5 to 3 hours of that to educate yourself so this doesn't happen to you again, right? Are you treating it like Saturday, hanging out and playing video games, or are you soaking in digital curriculums, going to the gym, working out, making yourself healthier, or changing your nutrition? So I used to do that every single time things like this have happened. I did that in 98 when it happened. I did that when the dot-com bubble bust, when then 9/11, when planes hit the buildings, and in 08, I kept switching up. And then you would see what I become 5 years after that.
So talk to me about I guess your thoughts on the NBA shutting down because of the coronavirus. I never thought I would see that.
Yeah.
Like the NBA canceled the season.
Sure. I was talking to Mark Cuban, and he was basically saying that he doesn't think that the season's going to be canceled because the arenas are still there. Nobody's going to sub out that sport. But again, you're going to have to test all the players and make sure that they're all fine, because you don't want this getting out of hand and be contagious. Now, will there be physical audiences there? I highly doubt it.
See, but that's the point. Don't the players want to be with the audiences? They need to feed off the fans. And it's been March Madness is happening as well. Like,
no, they do, but you remember, listen, you'll go out to the park and you ever see a couple of cats going at each other. They sometimes don't need the fans. You know what I mean? So, but in the best interest of our country and everybody's health, this thing is not going to go away. I think this thing is, and I'm not saying it in a harsh way, this thing is going to compound, and I think, the forecasters, they say 100 million people will get this. It'll be just like the flu, and it'll go away after about 6 months or 8 months when they get a vaccine, right? And really, if you look at it at this moment, it happens to be people over 70, and I'm concerned. I have a 75-year-old mother, you know what I mean, or people with bad health issues. But right now, they've been quarantining people, and they say after 3 weeks, out of the initial 120,000 who globally got it, 55,000 of them were recovering after 3 weeks.
So what are you doing to prevent yourself from getting the coronavirus? Because you've been traveling.
I'm going to get it, right? I think a good portion of us are going to get it, but and remember, listen. Please talk to your doctors or your professional advisors. Listen, I'm the guy who makes shirts, so don't just listen to me. I'll talk to you right now about a little financial intelligence.
But you're still grinding. You're still doing what you need to do.
Because the reality is I'm not as much at risk. I know that a high level of vitamin C can help you as well, and a vitamin C drip if you end up getting it. And I have opportunities, obviously, because I have some really good health care around me, to get something called it does something with your blood. They kind of pull you, they strain your blood through an IV, and then they put this blue light on it. But forget all that. What can you do today? As I talk to, the good thing is I have some of the best doctors in the world that I talk to. They said heavy doses of vitamin C. Obviously, stay away from many people as you can, and clean your hands and all that other stuff. But this thing is airborne, so it's really about not being around as many people as you can. So
exactly.
Try not to. But going back to Powershift, why do I think this is relevant for right now? I highlight two subjects in the book.
Okay.
One name is Crystal. She had a job years ago, and she ended up taking maternity leave. So she comes back after her maternity leave and says to her boss, "Listen, my baby's a preemie. I can't work as much as I used to. Can I work half time?" He said, "No, I paid you your money. So for maternity leave, so either work or quit." in between that time, though, what she did was she realized that she worked with a company called Belay, and she's a virtual assistant. So now she lives in Ohio. I asked her to work 20 hours for me. Another CEO asked for another 10 hours. She doesn't have to trek through the snow. She gets to stay home with her baby. She doesn't have to wear a mask. She's at home, and she makes more money than she ever did before.
Wow.
And the #1 job for females in this country are executive assistants. So how many people right now during this time will go and find out how they can use this time to become people like that, to empower themselves so they're no longer at the will and the whim of things like this, because something like this is going to happen again, one way or another. I don't care if it's, oh my God, we're fighting with China, or more planes are in buildings. Something's going to happen again. And how are they power shifting to prepare themselves?
So what did you learn from Kris Jenner? Because she's in the book. What did you learn from Kris Jenner?
Well, first of all, I had worked with the Kardashians the first 3 years, and what I learned from Kris Jenner is that she was doing the same thing. When I was teaching her how to put stuff in, integrate into her show, music, like some of the products.
Yes.
You would see Coogee in the first 3 years of the show. She was taking that knowledge and educating herself on this new platform that was coming around called Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And then she started to realize that she could monetize off of those platforms. So she took the fundamentals of what I was showing her and did 10,000 times better on a different platform. And that's exactly what we're saying. You've been an executive assistant for 30 years, and you can do everybody's job upside down, with your eyes closed. It's just another platform we're trying to find out that you can get on and empower yourself.
Everything is digital now.
Everything digital now.
Talk to me about what you learned from Pitbull. That's my boy.
Yeah, so I mean, Pitt is obviously really hard. He's from the streets, and a lot of people don't know that he is really, really ill freestyle, hard rapper.
Yes, he went pop, but he started off in a lyricist.
Yeah, he is a lyricist, and a lot of cats, and I remember Pitbull saying in the book how he was really looking at where the world was going, and everybody was keeping it real. He knew how to keep it real. He said, but also people want to escape and they want to dance. And that's globally, people want to feel good. Globally, people don't necessarily want to be talking all the foul crap and talking about the hood and stuff like that. Even if you're from the hood, you want to dance, right? And so he started to change that, and a lot of the other rappers were like, he's going pop, he's selling out. No, he's selling out arenas, right? And he's Mr. Worldwide 305, and a lot of people don't realize he has charter schools out there. He has globally recognized businesses all around the world, and that was really his fight from trying to not keep it real. So he knew his why, and a lot of people, listening to me right now, they don't know their why, and they're trying to keep it real for the wrong reasons, because maybe their parents told them to do this, or society told them to do this, or they're trying to get too many likes on Instagram by a bunch of people they hate, right? And they don't know their why. So in the book, that shows, like, when people say to me, I want $1 million, I want to be a millionaire, why? You're going to buy one Bugatti with it? You're going to buy 10 cars? You're going to buy income-producing property?
Yeah, what motivates you?
Yeah, you're going to move to Bali and live $30,000 a year off of it for 10 years and then have $300,000 to expend there, but $700,000 you're going to buy right now, put into the market while the market's down. So when you come back in 10 years, that's that $700,000 worth $7 million. So people don't know their why often when they're walking up to a table and they want to shift power.
So we got to figure out the why. But let's go back to people wanting to feel good and wanting to dance, right?
Yeah.
So you have all of these music festivals being canceled. I never thought I would see a Coachella. I mean, they make a lot of money there. Jazz in the Gardens in Miami is being canceled. What do you think about that?
I think that people are going to want to absorb content one way or another, right? They're going to want to get more information from Foxx and to hear what's going on in the world. They're going to start letting, the Netflix of the world and all that stuff. But after a while, listen, in 6 months, we're going to be up to speed where they're going to say either we have a vaccine for this or it's under control, or we have enough studies shown that this is what you should do or shouldn't do. Then people are going to come out in force. They're going to come out and say, I'm tired. Listen,
they got to get out.
I can't imagine if I was 25 years old and I was going to Coachella and I couldn't do any of my stuff, and I've been in the house. Man, I'm going to party. I'm going to party hard.
Exactly.
But how can people right now who are content creators take advantage of this moment? People who are on Instagram and and they have their own podcasts. How are you going to be at home right now, getting your message out to the people that love and support you or want to follow you, and making this a better opportunity for yourself? There's going to be a lot of rich people come out of this situation.
Well, one way is to get this book and to figure that out.
Absolutely.
Powershift. Yeah. How can people get this book?
You can get it anywhere. I'm doing an event tonight. I think you can go to my site, Daymond daymondjohn.com and check it out. But you can definitely get it on Amazon. You can definitely get it, of course, in audio form, stuff like that. So that's how you get it. You know, make sure everybody just takes care of themselves and take this time to educate themselves so they don't let this happen to them the next time.
All right, before I let you go, sanitize your hands.
Yep.
I do have a question just about your story and your journey, because you wrote several books, but visually, I think people would like to see that story as well. Movies, docuseries.
Well, you know, we've been talking movies. We've been talking the FUBU story, you know, a lot of stuff. We have been in Hollywood talking that, and it will come out sooner or later. The good thing is it's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. It's my baby, so I don't want it to be done you know, half. And I also want it to be done to be compelling. I don't want it to be just a big wet kiss. Look how great these guys are. I want to show the ups and downs on how, you know, what it was to leave the hood and try to get away from all the bad elements in the hood, but then to go into a fashion where you're selling $350 million of clothes a year. A lot of bad elements were around there as well, but those elements were more tactical. I mean, the hood, you're just trying to survive. The bad people, when you get to a high level of business, you don't see them coming, but they have this thing all figured out.
They have the agenda.
Right? And you'd be like, wait a minute, didn't I get away from this in the hood? It's much worse here.
It's a different level.
It is a whole different level of that kind of money. Yeah, and that level is thought out really deep, and you're first coming into money, and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? So I want that story to be the story that people will see, and then and see a lot of my failures so that they can see, you know, they can understand when my successes came, it was earned and it didn't come overnight.
Well, I think we're ready. People need to hear that story. Daymond John, thank you so much for coming in. Get the book Powershift right now, especially if you're quarantined, you can't go to work. Fulfill your mind. Let's get this thing going.
Thank you.
You're welcome.